Hi, welcome to Custom Creations. Today I'm gonna show you how to draw a wyvern. I had many requests for a dragon tutorial, but first I figured that drawing a wyvern would be a little bit easier if you're a beginner. There are many ways to draw dragons and wyverns, but this is how I approach them and I can't wait to show you, so let's dive into the video. I use a ballpoint pen because when I can erase my mistakes, I tend to get stuck in fixing them all the time, instead of making actually progress with my drawing. But for this drawing, it doesn't really matter what you use. If you prefer a pencil, that's fine too. I start with very light tapered lines, so I can adjust it later on. As you can see, I barely touch the paper. This helps me with the shape of the creature, the placement on the paper, and when you start with lines and a few circles, you can add some elegance and movement to it. When you would go straight in and draw all the body parts, the drawing can turn out a little bit stiff looking and it's very hard to adjust that later on. At first we draw a few lines to assemble the head and the neck of the wyvern. And right now we only need to worry about where it's gonna be and not how it's gonna look. We draw a circle for the chest and a circle for the wyvern's bum. A line between them is the spine and the tail is just an extension of that spine, so you can just continue the line in whatever direction you want the tail to be. Next up, we're gonna steal like an artist. This book, An Atlas of Animal Anatomy for Artists, has many illustrations of skeletons and muscles and such, and it's really helpful with drawing creatures. You can also find many of these illustrations online. Here we have a bat, and you can see that the wing of a bat is actually just an arm. It starts at the shoulder, you have the upper and the lower arm, and the hand with the thumb and the four fingers. You can even see the knuckles. The membrane between the fingers and the body is what makes it a wing. And you can see for the bat that the membrane is attached to the hind leg, but for our wyvern we're gonna attach it to the side of his body like this. And that is how you use a reference. Now we're going to use that information in our drawing. We mark the spot where the shoulder is going to be and then we draw a line for the upper arm. The little circle marks the elbow and then we draw the forearm with the hand attached. We draw the thumb first, it's going to be some sort of claw, and then we draw the fingers and the membrane of the wing is going to go between them. I'm gonna draw a finger straight down. That would mean that actually the forearm would not be inside. So this part here, we're not gonna use that. But it's good for us to know that it's there behind the wing. And then we draw the other fingers. I draw tiny circles where the knuckles are gonna be, but I'm not gonna use all the knuckles. It kind of depends on what kind of wyvern I'm drawing. And just rinse and repeat until you have 4 fingers. There are also wyverns with 3 fingers in their wings, but we're going with 4 for this one. Now we're gonna steal as an artist again, but this time from a horse. You remember the circle that we drew in the wyvern's body in the back? That is over here in the horse. And you can actually see the hip, you can see the knee, and you can see the heel. And we're gonna use that in the legs of our wyvern. I'm gonna place the hip around here in a circle, and I'm gonna draw the part between the hip and the knee a little bit longer because I want the dragon's legs a bit more frog-like. So I'm gonna have the knee a little bit lower. Then we're going to draw a line backwards to the heel. And then we're gonna attach some sort of, ugly shaped triangle for the foot. And of course we add a little line for the toes. And then it's just basically connecting the dots, but different. We're gonna add more lines to give more shape to the drawing. We're gonna connect the joints, the body parts, and you can actually see that it starts to look a bit more like a wyvern. I still use light tapered lines here. I know some artists say that you should draw with longer lines because it's more neat. And there is a truth to that, but for the underlying sketch, I would say draw how it feels best for you. When I go into a drawing, I'm not always sure how I exactly want it to be, and the light tapered lines help me figure out what works and what not, and it gives me more freedom while sketching. I can experiment a bit more. So it became a very typical thing for my personal style. I draw some sort of triangle as a head, and we're gonna draw around the shapes that we already got in. That way we create an outline, and it actually starts to look like we're drawing something. At this stage we're also going to add more detail here and there. I prefer to draw the eyes very early in the drawing because it gives the creature personality, and that actually makes me more excited to continue. And from now on, it's just rinse and repeat. We're gonna draw around the shapes, connecting lines, and add a little bit more detail. Don't forget about the other leg. It doesn't need to have that much detail because it's further away, but obviously we still need it. And remember that membrane that we wanted to attach to the side of the wyvern, we're gonna draw that over here. We're gonna make the parts that are in the shadow darker, so that would be everything that's directly beneath the wings. We also use lightweight to make some areas more prominent, and we can start adding in scales and more details. Now it looks like our wyvern is floating in empty space, so to fix that we're gonna draw him on rock. Adding a little bit of environment to your drawing actually helps the composition and makes your drawing stand out better. And from here on, it's gonna be adding more details and more shadows. Don't forget to add a little bit of a shade for the back wing. It doesn't have to have that much detail because again, it's further away, so it's just a little bit of a triangle that we're gonna shade in later. To give the illusion of scales, I'm gonna draw small circles close together. Of course, you can draw more detailed scales if you prefer that, but it's not necessary for this drawing. We're gonna add one more thing, and that's the point of the right wing peeking out from behind the wing that's closest to us. And if you have been following along with this tutorial, you should have a wyvern drawing by now. And that was my Wyvern tutorial. I hope that was helpful to you in any way. I'm still on a journey on how to draw dragons and wyverns myself, but I like to share with you what I learn on the way so we can grow together. Please make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I hope I'll see you with the next video.